In this video, we will look at a few examples to practice working with bar graphs. Example A, construct a bar graph to represent the depth of the Great Lakes. And here we have a little table. We have our 5 Great Lakes and the depth of each. So down here we have a blank bar graph. And the first thing that we want to do is label our 5 categories, which are each of the lakes. Once we've labeled our categories, we should figure out how to scale our y-axis. So look up at sort of the range of depths, and we have the smallest number is 210 and the largest is about 1300. So we need a range of about 0 to 1500 feet. So I'm going to scale my axes by 300 feet. So starting with 0, and then this will be 300 feet and 600 feet, 900 feet, 1200 feet, and up at the top is 1500 feet. And the last thing I'm going to do before making my actual bars is label the axes with the Great Lakes and depth. And now I can actually make my bar graph. So I can go up and see Lake Superior is about 1,300 feet. So I'm going to make my first bar centered around where I put Superior and going up to about here for 1,300 feet. Remember that when you're making a bar graph, it's really important that your bars don't touch each other and that they're all a consistent width. All right, next up is Lake Michigan, 923 feet. So I'm going to go up to a little bit past 900 there. And make my bar for Michigan. And you're just going to be doing the same thing for the last 3. And you end up with a bar graph that looks just like this. All right, let's go on to example B. A questionnaire on the makes of people's vehicles showed the following responses from 30 participants. Construct a frequency distribution and a bar graph to represent the data. And we have our key is F is Ford, H Honda, V Volkswagen, M Mazda. So the first thing we want to do is make a little frequency distribution to keep track of how many of each we had. So we want to track how many Fords, how many Hondas, how many Volkswagens, how many Mazdas. So make a little table and then start with Fords and count how many you see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 Fords. And then go through and do the same thing for the other 3 cars and count them up. And you can complete your table. Now that you have your table, it will be pretty easy to make our bar graph. We can just start by making our 4 categories. So that would be Ford, Honda, Volkswagen, and Mazda. You could write out the words if you want as well, but this just saves space. Then we need to scale our y-axis. It'd be nice to have a range from 0 up to 10. So I'm going to go by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, and up at the top, 10. And then I can make my bars. So for Ford, I'm going to go up to 8. And again, don't forget, the bars can't touch and they should all be about the same width or exactly the same width. Do your best. Honda up to 6. Volkswagen was 7. And Mazda was 9. And the last thing you want to make sure that you do is label your axes so that people know what this actually is. So our x-axis is our cars and our y-axis was the number of people with that car or the frequency of that car from this survey. And there we go.